Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Stuff and Such. On our last video we had the recoil on and all the coils set up, and I wasn't getting sparks, so I'm changing my first coil. I'm going to test that. There's better ways to test it than just changing parts, but that's the method I'm using right now. So hopefully the camera quality is still good in this lighting. I'm working in the night right now in the basement. So to set the coil distance, one of the easiest things you use is just a business card. So you roll it up to the magnet, and then you loosen off your screws so that the magnet sucks in against that, and just give her a little snugging and tighten up your screws and back it off. And that's pretty well a good distance apart. So you connect these two coils together. Connect these two coils together. There's this little plastic insert here that this little screw goes into, connects them together. It's really not the smartest design in my opinion, but what do I know? In the later models they switched to a single coil system and bypassing this one here, and that seems like it's the new method they went with. So this wire right here, this is the kill switch wire. So we runs through this little hole here. Oh, I got no spade connector. Either wire another one on or just use the choke as a kill switch. If it's a personal saw, I don't mind using the choke as a kill switch, but if I plan on selling this one, then I'll get the kill switch working properly. I should really do it anyways. Doesn't take very much effort. Alright. So that's all set up there. We'll put this just not going there. That. So when putting the recoil on, you just need to pull the cord a bit, lets the cog set into the teeth. We'll screw it back on. Just a touch too long, it goes through the body and into the lower portion. So this model that I'm working on is more a middle-aged version of this era of saw. Has a few features that some of the others don't have, but it also hasn't got as far designed as some. Alright, so now we'll just pull it over and hopefully we'll have spark this time. And if not, we'll change this next coil. Alright, I'll try and hold it here so you can see the spark. It's hard to get enough speed pulling like this. There we go. Perfect, so we got nice spark now. So the next step is to... what should the next step be here? Next step. All right. So the next step is going to be to install a fuel line. One thing you always want to do is just blow on it, make sure air goes through it, and then another thing you want to do, plug the one end and blow on it, make sure there's no leaks. That's one of the hardest problems to find, to diagnose, because it's just so random, is a cracked fuel line. It just acts erratic. Something like a seal going, but not even as consistent as a seal. Like sometimes you'll tune it and it'll run nice, and then other times it'll just die on you in warm weather and all that fun stuff. So common error that some people make. Oh yeah, so this is the coil we pulled out. It didn't provide spark, so we're going to throw that right in the garbage right now. One common error that people make when installing these fuel lines is they think the line goes in from the top, whereas it doesn't. This flange here, you pull it from you feed it from inside and you pull it up, and it'll slip into this section here. So you want to provide a little bit of lubrication on that, so it's not very resistant. Alright, let's see if we can show you here. Turn on my handy dandy headlamp. So there's really no way I can show this on the camera. See it poking up there, you grab it, and boom, she's pulled up in there. So now it's nice and sealed, and that just slips on there like that, Now that's ready. And that's how you install a fuel line on a 266. Okay, this thing is an absolutely terrible shape. In my opinion, electrical tape has no place hardly being used anymore. I find it in our area it just holds corrosion and moisture, and basically is just a cheap band-aid that doesn't actually fix the problem. So what I'm noticing here is I'll have just actually enough wire yet that I can just crimp on a new connector and it'll be good to go. So we'll just take the strippers here. And then we'll make sure it actually slips on there. Yep, that'll work. So if we find that we don't have spark after we go to try this again, one thing that can happen is that the on-off switch fails and it just grinds things up. Kinda. That looks pretty good. All right. So there, we got that in there now. I wish I had another filter on hand, but this will have to do, I guess, until I can get a replacement or find another one handy. But first we'll install the choke. Often there's a screw that screws right in here to lock the carb to the body of the chainsaw, but on this model there isn't a screw there, so we can't put one in there. So this one, it just pops in there. Now is a good time to make sure that it's not really loose. And see, this one actually, it's just borderline. I'm going to see if I can find another one.